My name is Craig Ferguson and I'm attempting to walk across the entire length of the USA, starting in LA and finishing in Boston. Over 3,000 miles separates me from my end goal, which is seeing Scotland at the World Cup for the first time in 28 years. And we're aiming to raise £1 million for mental health in the process. So let's get into it. Here we go! Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Still here in Kansas, avoiding storms and tornadoes. It's about to get windy tonight I think though, so need to batten down the hatches and hope that our RV doesn't fly away. But we'll be heading out of Kansas in about 4 days time. It's been long, it's been flat, and at times it's been boring, but I tell you something, I've grown to love it. With the people that are here, the friendliness and the quiet life, I guess. I have finally made it back into civilization. What do I mean by that? Well, built up areas and places with city in their name is a good start. I've just made it to Junction City, which sits about 70 miles to the west of Kansas City, but I believe, and I could be wrong, I could be swallowing my words down the line, but I believe for the most part the flat plains and week-long stretches of nothing and not many big towns is behind us. Now, in slightly worse news though, I believe there is a storm a-brewing. In the last video you guys seen that we drove through a big thunderstorm and a tornado watch, but we were very fortunate to be in the car and to have driven round the outskirts of that tornado watch. Today I think it's going to be more of the same, except this time I'm on foot and I believe that we will just miss it. This is absolutely the first time in weeks that I've seen a body of water that isn't just a watering hole for all of the cows and farm animals. Now, this could be an issue. Fort Riley, all of this area is a military area, and it seems as if the maps is just taking me up to walk through this. Now, if all the cars are having to go through a vetted toll, and I've just walked up this way, that sounds like a recipe for disaster in my eyes. Well, that happened quicker than expected. Someone's been sent down to come and see me straight away. Okay, so after being turned away by military, we're going to have to come up with another plan. Basically, I'm here, this is the river, and I try to come up like this, through here, and into Ogaden, but obviously I've just been turned away. This is all the military base, so what I'm going to get is Matthew to pick me up from where I am here, and then drop me exactly on this road, and I'll just come up here, and then come back on where that isn't the military base. Such a pain, and the funny thing is they're basically sending me onto the interstate instead of through the military base. I tried to explain what we're doing, I showed them all my documents, I asked them to vet me on the spot, I showed them all the news articles, they were having none of it. Well, they weren't having none of it, they made a lot of phone calls to see what they could do, but eventually it came to nothing. So I hate to do this, I absolutely despise having to get into the car for any reason, and this is the first time I've had to do it, but I'm not walking back 2 hours just to double back on myself. You know, it's going to add what, an extra 6 miles onto the day just to double back what I've already walked. It's not feasible, so I'm going to get Matt to drop me off somewhere parallel. Made it back out onto the road. We get dropped off the exact same distance away from our final location as what I was at. Not ideal, I hate doing that to be honest with you, but I don't fancy messing around with military personnel with big massive AK-47s, so okay, I'll get back on the road and walk the other way. Good morning people. Went out for a few drinks last night, so we made it to this place which is called Manhattan, right? And this is the most like stereotypical college sort of town you ever will see. But me and Matthew decided to go out for a few drinks because all the bars sounded buzzing, and we also wanted to meet up with a couple of Brazilians that live out here. I was promoting the brand new Spirit of Brazil tartan, so it was really cool to meet up with them, but I'll show you this. Looks a lot different in the morning. We went in here for a couple yesterday, the yard bar. When I told my parents about the fact that I was going to walk across the entire length of America, my mum had one request, and I know she'll be watching this. That one request was to get a picture outside of the Oz Museum in Kansas. Well, the time has come. I'm currently outside of Wamego. That is the Oz balloon right there, and I'm going to go down, walk to the yellow brick road and get my mum her photo of me in Oz. She'll be absolutely buzzing with this. And while I won't have time to go into it, just so you know, I've definitely been there. Is the Oz Museum. Well, I've not been recording these for a while. The good old night shifts, back to it. That's the reality when you go out for drinks the night before. Is that you condemn yourself to some late night walking, which, look, as it is, you can hardly see me, it's that dark, but the past few days we have really been amping up the miles. 37 miles, 35 yesterday, and back to 37 today, so really happy with that. Body's holding up well, but yeah, definitely back to the sort of larger days. I had said it in one of my Instagram stories, and a lot of people kind of reacted to it, but for some perspective, for my Scottish audience that's watching this, 37 miles is the equivalent of walking from Glasgow city centre to Edinburgh Airport. That's how long that is. I feel like that's a really good marker that kind of puts it into perspective for some people of how much that distance really is. And then imagine doing that, waking up at 5 in the morning and doing it again and again for 37 days. But that's the poison that I picked. It's all for such a good cause, and when there's nights like this, when it gets a little bit more difficult and you're like, what am I doing in the middle of rural Kansas walking at 9 or 10 at night, you remember what it's all for, and it makes it that much more worth it. So team, a little catch up before we get started today. Tomorrow is Kansas City, which means tomorrow is halfway. A huge milestone. Better hope that my body fares up nicely, but I've got lots of media to do, lots of people to catch up with tomorrow. But I need to just get back to doing what I do best, which is of course walking and hopefully not talking too much. Bye Matt! Let's do it. This wee area is quite nice outside Kansas City. It's like farmland mixed with quite a lot of nature. And I tell you what man, after being on the busy roads for ages, it's nice just to get out onto a quiet sort of dirt road like this, to be honest with you. Especially first thing in the morning. Last thing you want to do is be hyper focused on every car that's passing. I can just switch my brain off and listen to some good tunes. On the note of listening to good tunes, I get asked all the time, what do I do to pass time when I'm walking? To be honest with you, there's a mixture of different things. Like, first of all is music, podcasts. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, I listen to so much music, podcasts, audiobooks, etc. The irony of me walking up to the Kansas Speedway is that I'm probably the slowest thing crossing America right now. So this is where this city has all the kind of NASCAR racing and stuff like that, but the stadium itself is absolutely massive. It kind of gives me a little bit of a glimpse of what the World Cup stadiums are going to look like in terms of the massive scale. I spoke about it a few days ago, but we're coming up for the halfway point. Well, a little look behind the curtain. I've actually already made the halfway point. We just chose for Kansas City to be that official marker for it, just because it's a major city, but I think it's mad, honestly. It's absolutely incredible, and I think that, as I was saying earlier, I think there was times during that stretch where I maybe felt a bit down, I maybe felt a bit never ending about the whole challenge, but you know, from this very point that I'm stood right now, there's only 50 days left until I reach Boston, which is honestly mental. It's absolutely mental, and the count begins downwards now rather than up, which is a huge win mentally, you know, to go, oh, we're only 48 days now, we're only 47, and work your way down. I think it's massive. So this milestone can't be understated. Like I say the full time, you need to celebrate these things, and I think from St. Louis onwards, which is about 200 miles from here, the end really is in sight for me. Once I get there, there's nothing stopping me. We'll get the last few miles in for tonight, finish up, and tomorrow we'll celebrate that official halfway mark in Kansas City. Right here is the entrance, the bridge that is going to take me over to Missouri from Kansas. Look at this. Big celebrations like this that you need to take in and enjoy. Kansas tried to break me. It tried really hard, to be honest with you, but we've made it out the other end, and that is all that matters. It's the getting up, it's the going again every single day. Sometimes when you're coming across hundreds and hundreds of miles of flat plains, you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. You literally feel like the end is never in sight. But from here, there's less than 50 days left. Just made it into another state, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Kansas, sayonara. That right there maybe, is Kansas City. We have made it. We are in Missouri. Another state ticked off the never-ending lists of states that we have to cross. But we've done it. 7 out of 18. Another one crossed. Come on! Let's head in to Kansas City, downtown. Have a look at this. Kansas City. We've made it. Oh my god, you don't know how hard it was to get here, but we've managed to do it. We've made it. It's looking like a mini New York here. It's pretty cool, look. So here is the first official World Cup stadium that I have seen along the route across America. The Kansas City Chiefs Stadium, I believe, or Arrowhead. Look at the size of that thing.
I'm like, alright, well we gotta run.
Yeah, no, that's right.
You can spot him if you're quick enough.
My name is Craig Ferguson and I'm from Glasgow, Scotland. I genuinely can't even begin to explain how hectic today has been in terms of interviews, media, meeting people. Like, the support in Kansas has been by far the most support yet, which is just unbelievable. And right there, I just had someone poke his head out of his window and go, "What tartan is that?" And I said, it's a USA tartan. I'm walking the length of America. And he's like, "No way, I'm a bagpiper." I said, "Go get your pipes, come out, come and play for the Scotsman." So he is going to meet me down the end of the road here. So here we go, we've got Jameson, he's brought the pipes out. They're about to get a show. Right, let's do it, man. As I mentioned earlier, so many people have been stopping today, giving us gifts, etc. But the consequence of that means that I've had to farm or carry this bag for the past 2 hours. My forearms are on fire. I feel like I've just done a workout now. To the amazing people that gave me it, I'll be honest, I was thinking about just chucking it, but that's how much I appreciate your gift, is that I'm willing to carry it for 2.5 hours just to get it back to the van rather than throw it away. So I appreciate you, but you have made my life more difficult for the last 2 hours. So we're in doing some shoe shopping, going to take advantage of the fact that we are in a major city. This is how the puppies are looking right now. You can see the bottom of them is pretty worn down. I'm going to go for these ones, which they're not the exact same, but they're one kind of generation lower, I think, but you can tell that they're very similar looking sort of thing, and they're on sale, which is a Brucey bonus. It's just not the trail version, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. Plus, if they don't do the job, then I know that I can kind of swap between these ones that have been working. So there you go, they're just coming out there now. One big bite. Everyone told us that we couldn't leave Kansas without trying a proper barbecue, so this is my plate.
Oh, good one.
Mate, oh my god, man.
Holy smokes.
That is unbelievable. So yesterday, to celebrate the halfway mark, I got a message from a couple of familiar faces, or let's just call it how it is, absolute legends. Look at this.
Hi Craig, Kenny Dalglish here. I heard about your fantastic effort to raise money for a very, very worthwhile cause. It's fantastic that you've done.
Well, I'm going to round this week out with a good old soppy Craig goodbye. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for everything so far. I feel as if the momentum is really now starting to build, and it's something that I don't want to let slip throughout. We want to drive donations as much as possible. My mum, my dad, my brother, who I know will all be sat down watching this. Hello, I miss yous all so much. I think this is the longest I've ever been away from home now, and yeah, every day gets a little bit more difficult, but aye, we all know that there's a bigger cause at play here. There's a reason why I'm doing it, and I know I'll be home in no time, honestly. You won't even notice I'm away. But guys, to everyone that's watching this, to everyone who continues to support, I will see you all next week in a bit.